Faces are of essential importance for human social life. They provide valuable information about the identity, expression, gaze, health, and age of a person. However, what happens when there is a selective deficit in the visual learning and recognition of faces? Prosopagnosia, from the Greek compound prosopon, the face, and agnosia, non-recognition or non-knowledge, is a disorder of face perception and recognition. Current research done by James Haxby of Dartmouth and Maria Gabini of the University of Bologna results show that a complex interplay between highly face-responsive brain areas is involved in encoding, integration, and interpretation of the huge amount of different information we draw from a face. Some structures in the occipital and temporal lobes have been found to be specialized on face recognition. Tissue damage in these regions lead to a lasting face processing deficit called acquired prosopagnosia.
There are two types of prosopagnosia, acquired and congenital, which means present from birth. The acquired type is the consequence of localized tissue damage in the occipital temporal areas and leads to additional symptoms such as a loss of familiarity and color blindness. The hereditary type is believed to be caused by defective neural development in the occipital and temporal lobes. People with acquired prosopagnosia do not have any feelings of familiarity and tend to falsely recognize strangers. Patients with hereditary prosopagnosia frequently state that gaze contact is not necessary in social interactions. It is also interesting to note that adjacent anatomical structures are quite often damaged as well in prosopagnosia patients, though these damages are not functionally linked to face recognition.
Face recognition is a multi-stage process. It is currently being debated by neurologists whether a specialized neural network is responsible for face recognition, or whether face recognition is just one task of a neural structure that processes the individual recognition of objects. First, a face is recognized as such. This stage is described as the detection phase. In the second step, individual and non-individual facial information, emotional expression, eye, gaze, gender, age, and health must be analyzed. Individual face recognition includes a structural encoding and a comparison with stored mental images of faces. This process is called the configural recognition strategy and is present in newborns and is further developed with age. The configural recognition strategy works best for upright faces. It fails when faces are turned upside down.
Just as the process for recognizing and identifying faces is complex and multifaceted, so are the methods through which face blindness is tested for. Recently, researchers in Australia realized the need for a test with a greater scope that addressed the variety of types of prosopagnosia as well as the levels of severity. Previously, subjects were shown pictures of Caucasians taken from identical frontal angles and asked for immediate recall and recognition. In the new test, researchers varied the ethnicity of the people in the photos and had images of the side of the face as well as of the front. They also tested subjects' recall and recognition immediately, then after 3 minutes, then again after 24 hours. This more thorough test improved the accuracy of testing. Although there is still much to learn about the causes and effects of this disorder on sufferers and their families, progress is continually being made toward a better understanding of prosopagnosia. To give you a sense of what a day in the life of an individual with prosopagnosia is like, we'll now follow John, a 7th grader with the disorder, as he attends school and interacts with his friends and teachers.
To Kill a Mockingbird's a great movie. Oh look, here he comes into the courtroom.
Who is that? I can never keep these guys straight.
That's Atticus, stupid. He's one of the main characters. How could you not know who that is? We're halfway done with the movie.
John has a hard time in English class. He can't recognize and keep track of the characters in movies and plays, and sometimes even in books. English isn't the only subject John struggles with in school.
What? I got a D? I know I got these answers right. Excuse me, Mrs. Smith. I don't understand what I did wrong. I just compared answers with my neighbor and I got the same ones. Why is my grade so low?
John, you're right. You're right that most of your answers are right, and I believe you understand the content, but you never used any of the methods I taught in class.
But that's the only way I can get an answer.
John has problems with math because he has issues with recognizing patterns. He can think of his own ways to solve the problems, but most teachers only accept the method taught in class. John also struggles outside of the classroom.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah, what's up?
I just want to thank you for always being a good friend and understanding when I have problems. So many other people can't handle it. I'm lucky that I met you in kindergarten.
I love being your friend. Don't say thank you.
While John has a few close friends he has known for a long time, he has trouble keeping new friends. He can make new friends easily, but to keep someone as a friend means recognition, something John isn't capable of. John uses the internet extensively for social interaction and tries to hang out in small groups rather than one-on-ones. That way he can listen to the conversation for cues.
John's struggles will unfortunately continue to impact his life and the lives of those he comes in contact with. There is no cure for prosopagnosia or face blindness at this time. But as our understanding of the disorder grows, so does our acceptance of sufferers, willingness to make accommodations, and interest in further research that will someday give boys like John an easier life.